Hello, everyone. My name is Najaia Parker. I'm a senior here at North Carolina Central University, and today I'll be presenting my psychology portfolio. To start us off, I'll be starting with my personal statement. When I was in 10th grade, I decided I wanted to major in psychology. I was unsure about what I wanted to do with the career in psychology, but it was always something I was very passionate about. I decided to be like my mother and come to the illustrious North Carolina Central University. And as I started to take different classes and develop a deeper understanding of mental health and how the system treats Black women, I decided I wanted to become a divorce lawyer. Now I'm sure you're thinking, that's a strange thing to want to be if you want to help women. But I wanted to not only advocate for justice, but also advocate for the women who could not advocate for themselves. I wanted to be the person, the voice, who let other Black women reclaim their independence and to help them keep themselves safe from the people who are very toxic to them and their environment. This portfolio not only represents what I've learned since I've come to NCCU, but also the person I'll become in my future. That's my personal statement, guys. And now I'm going to read my cover letter. Today I'm writing and presenting my final portfolio for psychology senior seminar. As I am approaching the end of my undergraduate studies, I'm grateful for the opportunity to reflect on the academic and personal and professional growth I have experienced throughout the psychology program here at North Carolina Central University. This portfolio not only represents the foundation of my coursework, but also the path I intend to pursue as the future approaches. My main goal in life is to become a divorce lawyer, specializing in helping women who have experienced domestic violence leave toxic relationships and rebuild their future. These women often don't have any support, and I intend to be the support system that they need. Throughout my time in the psychology program, I've discovered a passion for forensic psychology and a commitment to advocacy work, which has shaped my decision to pursue a graduate degree in forensic psychology as well as going into law school in the future. Forensic psychologists typically analyze human behavior and provide help in different contexts such as schools, mental health facilities, and other legal fields, which is what I want to do. There are two courses here that I've taken at NCCU, Introduction to Black Psychology and Honors Thesis, that have been very impactful in defining my academic and professional goals and helping me decide in which direction to go. These two classes have challenged me academically while also helping me develop the skills necessary for other courses in my future career. Introduction to Black Psychology helped me understand that there are not a lot of advocates for Black women, and if I, woman, cannot be an advocate for us, then who can be? Honors teachers helped me when writing annotated bibliographies and literature reviews, and a lot of the basic work for psychology is the literature. Thank you for the guidance throughout this course. Your support and encouragement have been great for the times where I lacked support and motivation. I am honored with the opportunity to share my portfolio with you and the class. Now, we're going to get into my resume. So, I applied for an internship over the summer, and that's basically what I'm going to be trying to get. My objective for the resume is to obtain an internship with the Office of Violence Prevention for the state. So I hope I get that internship. And for my educational background, I put National Early College High School, and that's where I received my high school diploma in May of 2023. I also put Nash Community College because in 2023 I also received my associates in art. I put Pitt Community College because next week I will have finished my pharmacy technician course, and I have 60 days to take my state test, and I'll become a pharmacy technician. And I chose North Carolina Central University, and I put Bachelor's in Science and Psychology for December of 2025. And for my professional experience, I put Youth Development Professional for the Bull City Youth Center of the Salvation Army. That's where I currently work. I started working here when I first came to North Carolina Central University, and at my job, I serve as the head cheer coach for the 2024-2025 cheer season. I also provide the children with a safe place to go to after school while waiting for their parents to get off work. We provide tutoring and homework assistance to the students who need help. I am I also help organize various activities for the kids such as line dancing, arts and crafts, and the game room tournaments. I serve as the driver for the kids for us to get back and forth to our different field trips. I currently work the front desk where I assign the kids in and out of our computer system while also making sure that they're assigned out by a parent or guardian who is currently in our books. And previously, before January, I served as the arts and craft teacher, which I did from the start of summer camp, which was June 2024 to January of 2025. And yeah. And I put my two references, which are both my bosses, Melissa Perez and Joshua Dorsett. You may know Dorsett. He is a recreational teacher here. Yeah. And I also put my computer skills. I'm proficient in Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Like with working the front desk at my job, I constantly have to work Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Especially as the cheer coach, I use Excel because it helped me keep up with the girls' absences, their sizes for their cheer uniform, and even what skills they do and do not possess. And for the final thing that I included in my portfolio was a sample of my work. I chose a literature review that I wrote for my honors thesis class. My literature review is called The Impact of Domestic Violence and Divorce in the Black Community. My professor was Dr. Altariq Moore, and I wrote this November 12th of 2024. I'm just going to be basically reading my abstract. I'm not going to put you through the whole painful process of reading my literature review. Okay, my abstract states, domestic violence is one of the leading causes of divorce in the African American community. Domestic violence can have huge impacts on all parties involved, women, men, and children. Within the African American community, the stigma around discussing the topics of divorce, mental health, and divorce can make it harder for people who experience these things to ask for help. Access to resources such as shelters and counseling services also plays into whether or not they can get the help that they need. This study analyzes the impact of domestic violence when it comes to development, exposure, and risk factors. The study also investigates how children develop mentally and in educational settings. This study analyzes the steps that women take to get out of safe relationships, and the study also analyzes community engagement responses and steps taken by others. This study examines the economic disparities that the African American community faces, which contributes to the divorces as well. Education and programs in the community that are targeted toward prevention, as well as mental health services, are also important and help families navigate these challenges they face when it comes to economic disparities and divorce. And that's my abstract. And I use several articles. I use, I believe, 6 or 7 sources to help me write my literature review. And if you want to read my literature review, feel free to email me, and I'll put my email in the video. And yeah, I talked about how domestic violence is not very talked about in the Black community, but it's very prominent in the Black community. And I talk about how it has a really large impact on the children in our community because some of them retaliate in educational settings where they don't try as hard in school, or they act out for attention. And I also talk about how that there's a really bad stigma around asking for help when it comes to things like this because Black people, specifically the ones from the articles that I read, are really faith-based. And in a lot of these women in these Christian communities where they don't know where to turn to, and they go to the people in the church, and the church often shuts it down because they don't believe in divorces. And that's all talked about in my literature review. And yeah, thank you for listening to my portfolio. I hope everyone has a nice day.